Hello guys, so now we'll be looking at how do you prepare your perfect pitch for the startup. A pitch is a presentation or a set of documents that you show in front of your investors or a target audience in order to gain the money, or basically you are convincing the target audience or the investors to invest money on you so that you can use that money in order to grow your startup. And that will be our module 6. So it's nothing, it's very simple. Pitches are just really a very great story to tell. They are just great stories that you have to tell in front of investors so that they believe in those stories and give you your money to work with. So a pitch deck's narrative should answer 3 key questions. Why should someone care about this? What is your solution that you are offering? And how is this idea or how is the product that you are offering as a solution is a good investment? So let's get started. Now first and foremost, you have to describe who are you. So most of the people that I've seen overlook the title slide. This slide will though sometimes get some of the face time before a meeting begins or when you are sending the deck in advance. It has basically the title slide has a unique opportunity to introduce yourself, your company and your brand in a very compelling way. So title slide must be very engaging and it must be catchy in order to catch the eye of the investor that you are presenting in front of. Now, why should anyone listen to you? Of course, in this you have to describe why you are the best or why one should listen to your solution instead of n number of solutions that are being offered in the market today. So basically, you have to introduce yourself, your team, and basically you can describe about their impressive backgrounds also. And it's your opportunity to highlight your expertise and unique experience that make you a winning team. Exactly. A person invests in a mature startup or a mature set of team that they know can complete a task in a very compelling way. So that is why you should present yourself in such a way that you are the best, you have that expertise and you are unique in offering them experiences. That is why they should listen to you. Now, you should address the problem that you are trying to solve. Basically, you should give a very large, enormous view of the problem that you are trying to solve. Possibly magnify it a bit so that it might seem relevant for the people sitting in front of you that yes, this is a problem and you solving this problem is very good. Now, how do you prove your solution? Or how do you prove that the problem exists? Basically, yes. So, to prove the problem exists, you have to have some statistical data. In order to get some statistical data, you need to have conducted a research, a market research or an industrial research, identifying the foot of the problem and describing the problem in a very comprehensive way. So you can include industry quotes from industry leaders that have expressed the gravity of the problem that you are trying to address. So basically you prove the problem exists by showing statistical data and some research along with it. Now, how are different people? Always a startup that is going to enter in a domain has several other companies, MNCs or other big and mature startups settled in that single domain. So how are they trying to solve this problem today? And why isn't it working? So basically you have to have a competitive landscape ready. You have to look at other startups or other companies trying to address the same solution. And you have to know that why isn't their solution working? Because of course the investor will only invest in something new, something good, which they are sure will make them money. So it is important to highlight the gaps current solutions are not addressing and to identify and to have the audience identify with the challenges that exist. Now we have to describe what solution are we proposing. So basically you have to introduce your product. And remember, the most important thing while introducing a product is keeping it simple. When a product will be simple, it will be very exciting and it will be very awesome and it should have a very well tailored tagline or a short brand video. Most importantly, the slide that contains what you are building needs to be conveyed quickly. Let it be an app, a marketplace, or anything. So now the next slide will focus, or the next slide will tell what are you focused on. Basically, you have to dig into this slide. Basically tells you that what value you are bringing to the table, how your product is different, what value is it bringing, how is it more immersive, more experience, more enriching than the last solution that people have been using, right? So it should illustrate the big vision of what could be accomplished with a product. For example, let's say one of the companies, Listenly, would highlight their product value as create the ability to learn essential work knowledge, practice work skills and best practices, and perform effectively on the bottom line. So basically they're highlighting a small problem in a big one, and the solution that they're highlighting is a very grand one in accordance with their problem. So you have to highlight the solution that you are offering, and you have to say what you are focused on. Let's say you are making an app and your focus is to remove the advertisement gap between such and such corporate. So you have to advertise that, you have to make that gap, you have to bridge that gap and focus on that gap, that you are solving this. So then you have to describe how does your solution come to life, basically how you are going to build it, or tell a story that where did you notice this problem occur. For example, let's say there's an app who makes travel blog while you travel automatically. So you can describe that while traveling you have seen such and such problems, you have seen people blogging, you have seen all the heavy equipment weights that they carry in order to record everything, but this app will solve all that problem. It will record everything automatically and stuff like that. So basically tell a story behind your problem. Tell a story, or present your demo of your app in such a way that yes, this is the story of my problem and I'm solving it in such a way that that this app or this solution will be the best one in the market. Now what is your GTM strategy? Now what does the term GTM mean? GTM means go to market. This slide should describe one of two things: either your strategy around who you are targeting, or the momentum or the traction or momentum that you have gained. So basically this slide should describe your strategy around the audience that you are targeting. Basically, let's say there's a startup called Vikara, and it works and it makes immersive tech, wearable tech. So how does it plan to target the audience, reach the audience and stuff? And how much momentum it has gained, how much market it has momentum in terms of market, in terms of customers, in terms of landscape, how much it has gained. So basically your slides should have either of these two things. Now describing your go-to-market strategy can include partnerships, your target audience, your ideal customer profile, or a unique sales process. So basically show your traction, show your momentum, show your growth, show your important product release lined up and stuff like that. Now the last thing that you have to see here is how big this can be. Sorry for the switching of slides. So the last chapter that you have to focus, or the last slide that you have to focus, is on how big this can be. During the pitch, investors will be starting to do the math in their head, like if I invest this much in this startup, how much will I get back, or what will be the return on my investment, and other stuff like that. So you need to visualize the total market that you are addressing and the adjacent possible expansions. Basically, in which other market domains or which other market segments will you expand into for your product, and basically portray a picture in front of them that this is the target market, or this is the value of market that we are addressing, and we are growing at a certain percentage rate or a certain rate every year, and by the end of 5 years or 10 years or whatever it may be, your startup will grow by this much, the value that you are investing will be multiplied by this much, so it will be a very big thing and stuff like that. So basically you need to portray that how big you can be in terms of numbers. So keep your full financial projection and a time series chart in your appendix slides to use during your discussion. The next thing is why now, why you. Basically, you have to tell them why is it that you are important right now, and why now you are coming with this solution, why not before or why not after. The last thing that you need is what do you need. So whether you are asking for capital, whether you are asking for a partnership, whether you are asking for equity investment, debt financing, anything, this has to be very clear in your mind that what you are asking for after presenting your pitch deck. Let it be equity investment, let it be partnership, let it be capital investment or anything. And you have to tell them how will this funding will help you to reach your next milestone. So after the slide, you have known basically everything regarding how to make a perfect pitch for a startup. So now you can maybe, work on a pitch, and all the best with your idea.